It's been 2 months since my last tier list, and I thought it was about time to update it from all of the live stream testing that we've been doing in the game, plus obviously the Mightiest Empire, the Wonder Contest, and the Battle of Dawn, seeing what heroes are used most, what are actually achieving the results, and it is about time to update, because let's be real, if we go back in time, this is what 1.0 tier list looked like, and it was a very solid tier list at the beginning. However, there is going to be some rude awakening here, and we have to do some adjustments because, as you can see, even myself made some errors, right? But that's all about learning in Age of Empires Mobile. So smash a like, comment, and subscribe if you want more daily content on this game and if you enjoy this type of experience. So with that, let's just dive in, because we've got the S, A, B, C, and D tier. And we are just going to work our way up and down each of these heroes that are in the categories, right? And the first thing is I do want to talk about is this D category, right? Because at the moment we've got the Gatherers in there, we've got the Herald, and at the time we didn't know how good King Arthur or Constantine was going to be because of how high VIP level they are. However, it's been a lot of time now. We've seen how good these heroes are in the field and what they're going to be used in. So we're going to be talking about those guys first, right? The ones that basically didn't get any sort of love in the original video, right? So if we go firstly into King Arthur, right? King Arthur here, really powerful hero, I'll be honest with you guys. Let me just drag him over here. Really powerful hero, honestly, when you unlock him as a Kraken. Let's be real, it's the only hero in the game that I would say most players aren't going to obtain. However, this hero has the highest base attributes in the game. He is a warrior, infantry, and a cav, which does allow him to actually combo with quite a few different marchers, but the one we see him primarily being used, in my opinion, is the warrior infantry, because he does pack an insane punch when he starts to get swarmed, which is kind of scary, because his Sword of Radiance here deals 1 instance of damage, and every 2 times the Sword of Radiance is activated, it enters the Blessing of Glory state, which ignores part of the enemy's troops' armor, so you get a built-in defense penetration, as well as during this, you basically has the whole percentage here, right? Shows you the actual percentage on it. So it's a really powerful ability, and that is where King Arthur lies. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, where is Sneaky gonna finally put him? And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be as objective as I can with this, because the thing is, not everyone can unlock the hero. I'm gonna be honest, not everyone can. However, he's not a D tier hero. From what I've seen, he is definitely in the A category. I won't put him in the S tier because I have definitely seen players, even Wales, using Mulans, for example, to absolutely obliterate a King Arthur. So that's just me, right? But he is definitely top tier. When you have a King Arthur and you are just going out there against people that are clearly nowhere near your strength, you are getting basically 10-to-1 trades because of how crazy the swarms is what it is, right, guys? But now we've got Constantine, and a lot more people do have access to Constantine, and I must admit, Constantine, from our live stream testing we have done, is a monster good hero. I'm gonna be real, for a supportive recovery based hero that just makes you sustain and just take basically no damage, he is phenomenal at that, because you don't even need to run Constantine as the primary commander too, so it makes him really flexible, having him in that secondary or third slots. When you go into his actual skill, you can see every time you recover troops, you can see or activates a signature skill, you reduce your troops damage taken, right? So you're always going to be machine gunning skills out, especially in the combination that you see Constantine being used in, which is Yodi with Tribuana and Constantine, and that combo is very, very powerful. I will admit it beats pretty much every match out there on just tanking and sustaining. However, it does lose to Miyamoto, and that is the really sad part about it. So even the earlier VIP hero, in reality, in just replacing Constantine, is better. So I'm still going to put Constantine in the good old rankings, and we're going to have to obviously adjust him because he does not deserve the D tier at all, right? And I'm going to also put him in the A category, guys, because he is really darn good in that supportive recovery role. He also has some extra skills. I know I'm not going to show those because I don't want this video to go too long, but he is such a great hero. But I would recommend, if you have him, you can definitely use him, right? For the rest of the D tier, we're going to keep it how it is. I'm going to be honest. That is how it is, sadly. Harold, I know some people think Harold might get some extra light now with the mercenaries and so on. However, he just hasn't got the kit to just, you know, punch through, especially compared to some of the other heroes that you unlock in Season 1 and especially Season 2 with the introduction of Lubu, right? So this is going into the C category now. We've got our Julius Caesar. Oh boy, man. Was I wrong? Was I wrong? Yes, I was, because Julius Caesar is a absolute beast. He is so goddamn good. I did not even give him credit for. And this is because even in the earlier phase of the game, we didn't really understand how turn-based combat works, because anyone who's brand new to the game, who's not really had experience with martial pikemen, would feel the exact same way. When you look at any of Julius Caesar's skills, they are turn-based, meaning it says every 9 seconds this skill triggers. If you go to this skill, it's every 9 seconds. If you go to this one again, every 9 seconds. So you can see this is going to happen on a specific turn of combat. But the problem is, you think that's how it works. It doesn't, because you also get the trigger on turn 1. So the way turn-based pikemen actually work, or just turn-based skills in general, guys, if you didn't know this, you get to trigger the skill instantly in the beginning of combat, and then you have to wait the rotation for it to go off cooldown. And Julius Caesar is an absolute damage monster, and you can build, honestly, this hero in a variety of ways. I purposely go down the Savage Kingsblade combo. I like this. I like the fact I can reduce an enemy's armor and then buff all of my heroes' damage. It's just a really good way of tempo swinging things, but you have coordination here, which does also increase turn-based skill damage, and you got Whirlwind Sweep if you want to go down this stacking path. I don't like it. It might be maybe meta later down the line, but at the moment, stay away from this one, right? But when we're talking about Julius Caesar, he is so good, guys. And you can see, look, even since that video, I have been working on him. He's 4-starred, and I am going to be 5-star in this hero because, as you can see right above, we do run the martial pikemen, and I am leveling them up so they've all go to 120. We're just working on Ramcam first since we unlocked him recently, as you guys know. So coming back into the good old tier list, where are we gonna improve him? And the thing is, I want to put him in the A tier, but at the same time, I want him in the S tier because of how good of a damage dealer he is. He's such an insane damage dealer, and that commander skill increasing all of your heroes' damage too if you set him as the primary. Do you know what? I'm gonna do it. He's actually insane, guys. So early on, you can invest into this hero, and no matter what, you can run Julius Caesar, Octavian, Bushra, and maybe down the line, you can replace the Bushra with either Ramcam or a future martial pikeman hero. But this guy, I'm putting him up there. I can't. He's so good value, and he's so easy to technically work on, especially for a lot of players. So let's move on. We've got the samurai. And the thing is, the samurai are okay, but they're not gonna move. I'm sorry, they're not gonna move. We wish they were better, but we've tested these guys too much, and they are definitely C tier. Maybe if they're the only heroes you've got a bunch of stars into because you've been really unlucky in tavern pulls only, and all the taverns have been unlocking on samurais, fair enough, right? Then you might want to. But as soon as you can get anything better, which is 3-starred, I'd replace this lineup. It's not good at all. King Derek, though, I'm actually going to do King Derek some justice here, and I'm actually going to put him in the B category. He's honestly a really good hero no matter what. He's not bad at all, and he's not insane, right? He is a free-to-play hero. You can earn him on basically your first week, completely maxing him out, doing the Battle Roar event. And what's really cool about him is, even as a spender, on that day one, you can be running a Miyamoto with this good old King Derek in there and a Tribuana, and it actually does an insane amount of work. And as a free-to-play player, you've got the basic Josephine Hammurabi as well as King Derek combo. So he is insanely good for free-to-players, and he will hold up, right? Having that damage over time route effect. So we're going to keep him up. We're going to pump him up, right? Same with Seong. I'm actually going to put Seong up here as well as a martial cav. He's okay to use as a tanking based hero, because the thing is, a lot of people have been wondering and asking quite often, how good is he? How good is this hero for these, you know, lineups? And the thing is, as you guys know, we're gonna be getting martial cavalry very, very soon. Saladin is on its way, which gives you a ton of rage generation through martial cavalry. So when we look at our good old Seong the Great, this hero in martial cavalry is very, very good, because this hero gives you an absurd amount of resilience. Honestly, just the amount of resilience you get from him is second to none. It really is. And you can have him super budget friendly by just having one legendary skill unlocked, because you can keep fortification just to give yourself that free like 100 plus armor. It's bonkers, right, when you have it. And then going to Prayer of Harvest, we replace this, and you can have either Peaceful Haven, which you already do quite often. You can go into Protected Battle, really good one too. There's all these are good choices. You can pick any of them, honestly, and you're going to be happy whichever one you pick with him. Especially, like I said, in the future with Saladin and more martial cav coming, he's going to be in that lineup. So I do want to put him up, and I think he deserves it, to be fair. And I honestly didn't give him enough credit for what he can be. And especially, he's a tavern-based hero, guys. So again, you could have this hero quietly, you know, 2-starred and a 3-starred from the tavern, and when Saladin comes, you've already got 2 heroes ready for that lineup, which might be something you're looking to invest into, right? So is B, he's okay, he's a solid hero. Queen Syndiok, I'm gonna leave where she is. I know this is gonna hurt a lot of people, but she's okay. That's all she is. She hits with a silence. And the thing is, what a lot of people don't realize, the meta doesn't care about silence right now. Right now, everyone wants to kill you as fast as possible with their Lubus, with their good old Mulans, and even Hannibals, right, are out there. It's all about second strike and just attacking normal attacks, and silence doesn't turn off those skills. It only affects the turn-based combats as well as the activations, right? So even then, you're not even touching passives, which is kind of crazy on its own, right? So I don't think she's that good. The only reason you're using her right now is a activator, right? She's the activator for Suleiman, and do you know what? Because we've just mentioned Suleiman, we might have to, you know, bring him down a notch, but we'll wait until we get there, right? But she's just that enabler, unfortunately, and that's how the cookie crumbles. I don't want to go over her much longer, right? So if we go into YSS though, YSS isn't too bad, and this is what's really interesting, because YSS as a free tavern hero, especially if someone wants to play tactician archers, he's quite good. He actually does a decent amount of damage for what he is, right? However, he isn't going to go any higher. He's just where he is. He deals a ton of damage, but you're going to easily replace him in the future with heroes like Ramses when they come out. So again, I wouldn't go for this hero, right? And then we've got Tariq, and the thing is, Tariq isn't too bad either, and he has that one job of increasing the activation and damage of those secondary strike skills, if we remember off the top of our heads, because we haven't played with our Tariq in such a long time, because we don't even even use him anymore. Yes, I was even working on this hero, as you can see, and I stopped because it just wasn't really worth it. He's a really cool hero. He increases our activation chance, like say, of the secondary strike skills, and increases the damage. He has Roar Victory, which is the only skill you really need to unlock on this hero to give you that rage. But do you need that when Saladin is on his way? He's going to be an absolute rage machine. And maybe that is just better than having this Desert Iron Riders. And maybe I'm not giving Tariq, enough credit. But from what I've seen, I don't see him out on the field that often anymore, right? I really don't. So I'm going to keep him in that C category. It's been pretty solid. He's okay if you've been invested into him. I understand if you're running that El Cid lineup, then it's for that one, right? So now let's move into the B category. Let's update the Bs, the good old Bs. So the thing with the B category, we've got quite a few interesting heroes in here, right? So straight away, we've put obviously the Sion Grey and King Derek in there, which is great. And even obviously I'm keeping all of these free-to-play heroes. They ain't moving. Honestly, Josephine, phenomenal hero. If you're using Josephine still to this day, you can thank everyone later that's been telling you to invest into the warrior infantry route if you're going down that route, because she is super versatile in there. She can also be used as the archers, and she's just a really good, phenomenal hero for healing and just sustained combat in general with the double attack triggers. Hammurabi, again, really good enabler now for that King Derek. So it's a really good combination that you have these two free-to-play heroes that work really well together, and you should have them both unlocked on your account. Now, Joan of Arc. Everyone is a little bit weird with Joan, and I don't know why she gets a lot of hate, but for me, I'm going to keep her still in that B category, because the thing is, Joan of Arc for my account has been an absolute menace to society, because all we have been doing, as you can see now, is been running a good old Richard I Boudica with Joan of Arc, and I'm waiting for Mansa Musa to eventually replace her. However, until that day, she has done the one job I've asked her to do, which is do some counter-attack damage and make my march kind of tanky. And that's what she does really, really well. Metal here gives you a nice amount of recovery for an epic skill, which a lot of people just ignore for free-to-play players, right? Then you've got Kingsblade as well, which is one of the best enablers. Just increase all of your commander's damage, including the one that you've been investing into, aka your good old Richard I, right? So that's why she's such a good hero, and you can earn her from the beginning of the game. And you can see mine is 4-starred, and the reason she's 4-starred is easily from only Battlefield Survivor chests. If you're going to play Battlefield Survivor, pick one or the other on the heroes. Either pick a Josephine and max her out, or go for Joan of Arc and max her out. Because if you do that, your hero should be at least 4-star or higher by now. So it's really, really important to do the right investment, depending on what account you're going to go down for your formation investments, right? So you can see we've got a nice little change of things here, right? And this is where we're going to start getting some people being dropped down, right? So we've got Bushra. Bushra is going to be in the B category still. She's actually pretty good. We've seen, even to this day, a 5-star Marshall Pikeman lineup can be a lot of marches just because of the Bushra disarm. She can be honestly the make or break. It's as simple as that. Stopping people from attacking, especially stopping Lubus attacking on their turns, is crazy when it comes to the tempo swing, and that's why she is technically one of the best counters for the meta right now. However, she isn't an obscenely good hero. She's got some good skills, and yes, she's got some good healing, but I expect some better Marshall Pikemen in the future with a better disarm on their way. So maybe Bushra has her slot for now. She's in that spotlight, but I wouldn't go super, super hard investing into her, especially if you're more of a lower spender in the game. Obviously, Wales and stuff like that, they don't have to worry about this. They're just thinking, okay, now I understand where her position is and how I am technically spending in the game. YSG. Now, YSG is going to be one where I am going to drop this hero for now. And this is going to be a really sad thing because, as you guys know, we made the video with the good old Elsid, YSG, and Bushra combo. And this combo was really, really powerful. The reason why it was super powerful was because at the time, the good old YSG was bugged. Yes, you heard right. The YSG was bugged. And basically what was happening, it was allowing you to actually double trigger sometimes these states when it shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. What Quickway is going to be doing though is allowing you to have a really powerful machine gun build. And this is where I'm going to keep him in the C category for now because he doesn't have anyone for that. Yes, we got Seong the Great in there, and maybe YSG and Seong the Great and someone else could work. But what everyone's waiting for, including myself, is Saladin. Because if it is something that's going to be out there, you've got some very powerful abilities out there on your rage cost, right? Here is dealing 2 damage, you know, onto 2 enemies. It's a nice little bit of like AoE. So imagine machine gunning out AoE on martial cavalry with someone like YSG, Saladin, and someone else. So that's what's going to be really, really interesting to find out what happens and why he could be better in the future. But for now, he isn't, guys. I'm going to just put him in the C category. You could use him if you want to use him, but I wouldn't. I'd just leave him just to invest into, you know, later down the line. Guan Yu, I'm going to put in the B category and I'm going to keep him there. He's actually just a good hero. He's not obscenely powerful. However, there is a really cool one-trick pony build that I'm coming out hopefully in the next couple of days, so keep an eye on for that video where Guan Yu can give you some really obscene results. However, he's not the best hero again. We're only using him for the Lubu, Guan Yu, and Attila combo. And that is just because no one else has crit strike on them for now. If we get any warrior cavalry with crit strike, he is being the first one to get replaced, guys, and empowering up that Lubu and obviously that Attila even further. So Guan Yu, good hero. Everyone's going to be happy for free-to-players, but don't go super crazy on this hero, in my opinion, right? He's just going to be there for you in this current, like, early mid-game phase of your account. Now, Barbarossa, honestly, I have not given Barbarossa enough love, and I'm going to actually talk about him in a little bit, because a lot of you guys really do have some solid points, and I'm going to be real, and you know, have convinced me. Let's just say that you guys have convinced me on that. And the thing is, Barbarossa, we have done tests with him on the live streams, right? And we've checked him out. He is a phenomenal, if you've got a spender account, you know, mid spender, low spend account, and you have Barbarossa on there and you've got him at least, I would say, 3 stars, you're cooking, right? Because this actual pikeman is absolutely bonkers with Richard. The synergy you have is crazy because just how much you just get extra damage taken reduction when you blow 50%, and then when you recover your units, it keeps you on this little threshold basically where your Richard gets more damage procs out, and it's really good to use until you get maybe the Boudica and Barbarossa or Boudica and Mansa Musa, right? You can do something like that in the future when you get down the line. But Barbarossa, really good warrior. I honestly didn't give him enough love, and the thing is, I have been slapped by a Barbarossa myself, so I know what it feels like now on the other end of a good pikeman player, right? So it definitely needs to be upgraded. He's not a B tier hero at all, which does give you guys obviously some happiness there, right? Because that means he is going into the good old A category, because he is a really good hero. But even in the future, maybe you could run double warrior pikeman just because you have access to this hero, which is a really cool thing for pikeman mains if they want to run 2 or even 3 pikeman marches in the future, right? Now, we've got El Cid, and I'm going to keep El Cid B tier. The thing is with El Cid, when you get El Cid unlocked, guys, he is really, really powerful for Wales specifically, right? I want to kind of make this clear. Wales can absolutely abuse the shit out of El Cid, especially in the early game, because there's not that many heroes out there, especially Lubu. Lubu isn't out right now, and because of that, El Cid reigns supreme for Wales, because they also get to slow you down instantly, which just gives you that double attack proc on the El Cid. However, if you're more of a lower spender and you're thinking about investing into this hero, I just wouldn't. Honestly, this hero just doesn't do nowhere near as much damage as Lubu does, and at the same time, it just takes even more effort to do that amount of damage. So when we're going to talk about him, I'm sadly going to drop him down too, because again, I think it's just a super niche C tier hero where if you're a spender, you're going to get full advantage out of him in the early game, and then you're going to see how quickly he's going to get outclassed on the field there, right? So now we've got Philip, Rani, and Sun Tzu, and this is going to be where everyone is going to be, ooh, because I have been thinking about this for a long time, and I want to talk about Philip first specifically, because Philip was the one which I was wondering, is he good? Is he worth it? Because he is a supportive based hero with a pretty cool skill. Enters the charge state, after 3 seconds you deal strategy damage to the enemies, but then you increase the strategy damage taken to that unit, meaning it amplifies all of that strategy damage coming from future heroes, right? So Philip, really, really cool. Is he going to be better than Charlemagne? And I honestly don't think he is. However, there is going to be a case, and I'm waiting for it, where someone tries a Philip Charlemagne duo combo with someone like Sun Tzu, or even with a Ramses, and that thing does an absurd amount of damage, right? Because everyone's talking about Theodora, even myself, because I love my waifu as the supportive hero combo. But Philip does have one thing that all these other heroes are lacking, which is a massive damage amplifier. And if you're going down that selfish role, he could be really, really good. So for now, with our good old Philip friend here, I am going to keep him in the same category. He is going to stay in the B category, because the thing is, I need to see how well he is, because with that potential combo, it could improve him into an investable option. However, a lot of people, including myself, all believe he's going to get outclassed by Charlemagne. It's just better to run a Charlemagne, Theodora, and like Ramses or Sun Tzu combo than it will be to run a Sun Tzu, Charlemagne, Philip combo. That's the way we are believing it's going to run in the game. So Rani. Now, Rani is gonna go up too. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I have honestly been an investor myself. As you guys know, I have access to Rani, and to this day, I am still using her because she's just that good. She's one of the only kind of like mid-spend, low-spend heroes that you can actually use for a variety of things. If you need that extra hero slot potentially for your Lubu, you can put her in there. If you want to run archers, you're definitely going to be wanting to run her in those plus Lubu, right? And that's what makes her really, really good. The fact that she opens up doors, and her skills are really powerful, don't get me wrong, right? Her skills are insanely good for a supportive crit-based role. Let me find her here. Because you have obviously Kingsblade, Warriors Hymn on her, and then obviously her main skill giving you that double attack stay and giving your heroes increased might for 40. So really good, really powerful skill for that, allowing you to do the damage. And again, as you can see, it opens up the avenue, so you can have the Mulan, Bellevue, and Rani combo with the good old Lubu there, being freed up with the Attila. So this is why she's really good for people if you're thinking about investing into her. There's not going to be someone that you can use to replace her. Potentially, you might think about Mehmed, but even then, if you put Mehmed replacement in the archers, you can put Rani instantly over here in the Lubu March instead of potentially the Guan Yu, and see how that runs for your account. It might be better because obviously, as you can see, I've got the kind of free-to-play setup on the Guan Yu at the moment, so it could be a definite upgrade for your account there. Now, Sun Tzu, and this is going to upset a lot of you, but he's staying where he is. I think Sun Tzu is going to be good. I'm going to be real. I do think Sun Tzu is going to be good. He's going to be a phenomenally good hero with Charlemagne specifically, because that hero just makes Sun Tzu do damage you didn't think he was able to do. However, is that going to be worth it? Because you have Ramses coming around the corner, and as we've all seen, Ramses does outperform a good old Sun Tzu. However, we need to put the argument, Ramses is an MGE hero, Sun Tzu is a wheel commander. And the thing is, a lot of you guys have more accessibility to the wheel compared to an MGE, which is a fully understandable argument, and I am 100% with you there. The thing is, if you are thinking about investing into this hero, just know he is a good actual hero, and I've been baiting you all this time, and you are going to be happy with it. Just know, as I've kind of explained, Ramses will beat you still. But the thing is, early game, Sun Tzu does some really good damage. He really does. He's a really cool, honest hero for tactician infantry. And when you get Charlemagne coming in season 3, he's going to be an absolute beast, guys, especially with that Theodora that you've been working on, hopefully, since the beginning of this tier lists that we've been doing. So, there is so far the updates. We've gone now through D, C, B, and we're in the A category. Let's finally finish this last area off, right? Which is going to be Boudica, right? Because we've added all these heroes into the category. We're going to start seeing where these heroes are going to be, right? Oh, I've just noticed I've got double Boudica. Let's just move one Boudica. We'll put Boudica down here just because we've got 2. I'm just seeing that now. But let's carry on, right? So we've got Octavian. And the thing is, Octavian is a good hero. He's actually a wheel commander, and especially if you're going to be running the martial pikeman like with your Julius Caesar, he is a key piece of that puzzle because he does a phenomenal amount of damage, and he has quite a lot of flexibility on the skills that you can run. If you want to be a little bit more unique, like I have, you can do like the triple formation. However, you can just go down some simple, easy, just, you know, turn-based skill gameplay and increase the damage through coordination, and he does a ton of damage, right? So really good hero, definitely worth it. You can put Julius Caesar with Octavian and rock that Bushra, and you're good as golden. So he's staying in the A category. Ashoka, definitely I'm gonna put in the S tier. Ashoka is just one hero that is just bonkers. People don't realize how bonkers Ashoka is until they actually fight against a proper Hannibal lineup that has one on with the good rings, the good armor, and they just cook you. The thing is, Ashoka allows that Hannibal turn 1 to potentially just stop taking control. Like, no control effects. Just let me cook, Captain. That is just nuts. It is nuts. Everyone tries to compare it and put Cleo up there, and people might say, Cleo, why is she still down here? I'm telling you, man, anytime I see a Cleo or a Hannibal match running a Cleo, it just dies. I just destroy it. Even with any of my own normal matches that it should be countering, I am beating it, right? Because Cleo is just not that good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, right? But Ashoka, on the other hand, like, let's just talk about him for a little bit, right? Because I wasn't fortunate to unlock him, so I'm jealous. I am super jealous, right? But this hero is bonkers because increases your secondary hero's second strike skill activation chance. So that's great, because now while Hannibal has more chances of activating a secondary strike skill. Then on top of that, if it happens on turn 1, we have 3 seconds of control immunity. Like, we can't be controlled, we can't be burned, and we can't be routed. Like, we can't be silenced, nothing can happen to us. No control effects can happen just because of this one skill. And that doesn't even go into the other skills that you have. You can go down Roar of Victory, get that rage. You can go even down Weak Spot Attack and just have purely the best consistent damage dealing skill in the game on him. Like, do we have to actually keep talking about this hero? Like, you can go down so many skill routes. He's that good. So S tier definitely for our good Ashoka friend, right? So obviously we can see we're updating this. It's getting there. Justinian stays where he is. I'll be real. I think Justinian stays exactly where he is. He's just like Octavian, where he's really good for the position he's playing, which is the kind of supportive tank side for the Hannibal March. Really like it. Gives him, that survivability you need. So he's good, and a lot more people can get access to him as well, especially for the daily deals. So if you are thinking about it, running something budget, you can run Hannibal, Justinian, Cleo, but you will be replacing Cleo as soon as possible. I want to make that clear. Some people even run, just as a hypothetical, Hannibal with Justinian and Attila. That's how much better it is to run Attila than Cleo. I'll be 100% real with you. Moving on, we've got our good old Leonidas. And Leo and the pikemen here are all staying put. I'm going to be real, they all stay put. Leo is really good. The thing is, he can counter, as you guys know, the Lubu. And the thing is, Richard. A good Richard match. Richard Boudica Leo, Richard Boudica Barbarossa, Richard Boudica and Mansa Musa when it comes. All can be Lubu. Obviously, they are unit counters, and that's what we need to thank Age of Empires Mobile for, unit counters doing their job. So if you are a pikeman player, yes, they are phenomenally good. However, the reason why I want to put them in the A tier and I don't want to put them into the S tier is the time to invest. The one issue that I've always seen, and even my friend, I think Steve, can agree with this, pikemen are amazing, but early game, they're not that great, and that's the issue with this march. It's more like a late game march where you get that messenger of destruction ring. You've got your ring of boar, you've got your ring of badger, and this thing cooks, man. It just does an absurd amount of damage, and that's not including if you're a whale, and obviously getting even the better rings for survivability. So really good match, but it's just long term, right? Now let's move on. We've got Bellevue, and Bellevue again stays in the A tier. She's a phenomenally great hero. However, the issue with Bellevue is if you 3-star the hero, you've got as much damage as you can out of it. I'll be honest with you. That is basically if you want to make the minimal investment just for a pure glass cannon, you can do that. And free-to-play players have access to her. So it means you can be running Bellevue with your, obviously, Josephine there in Attila, right? And you've got a nice kind of like free-to-play march. You can even kind of chuck in some other heroes that if you wanted to. But the thing is with Bellevue, is you want to 5-star her. And if you didn't have to do that, if she was good at 3-star alone, she would be S tier. She'd be just as good as Mulan. But the issue with her is you need a 5-star Bellevue, because the thing is with Bellevue, with a lot of people don't realize it, is she gets one of the best buffs at 5-star rating, and that is because she removes the debuff of her skill here, right? So if we look at this at the current state, we have a 75% chance of doing that double attack state. We increase our might by 120, and then it reduces our armor by 35, right? This is at 3 stars. If you go into increasing the stars, this will now increase her might by an extra 30, but no longer reduce my armor. So it's just pure damage, and that is what's crazy about her. And that's if you can get her to 5 stars, and a lot of people will do that if you're more of a warrior, you know, archer player, and if you're going down that route as a free-to-play lower spender, it would make sense because you want to have her 5-star for her to do the maximum thing. Apart from that though, 3-star, you got her at glass cannon. That's what I've done. I've actually been okay with her, but it's those principles alone, on my reasoning and my opinion. You remember, everything here that you've been hearing is my opinion off the top of my head. I've been playing the game for so long, right? We've not got no scripts. We're just going with the flow, right? Bellevue is just A tier, unfortunately. No, not unfortunately. She's good, right? She's really good. So let's move on, though, right? Let's get to Theodora. And Theodora stays where she's put to. I have a soft spot for her. Maybe you guys might hate me for saying this, but I do think for tactician players, Theodora is just your best support, like recovery-based march, right? She gives you so much sustain, and she also gives you the remove attribute debuffs, right? So if you're suffering from any sort of badness, she's got you covered. And the thing is, with a Theodora, you can pair that up with a Charlemagne, and you've got 2 tacticians that are infantry and archer based, and now you can work with anything. Your Sun Tzu, you can work with that. You can work with your good old I would say YSS. You can work with your good old Ramses, right? So that's what makes her so good for that role. Maybe she gets outclassed in the future, but for me, even right now, I'm still happy with a 3-star Theodora. If you get a 5-star, that's even better, but 3-star is enough for me. And you know, let's move on to the elephant in the room. I'm just gonna do it. I'm sorry, but I'm putting this guy down fucking here. I'm sorry. Suleiman is C tier, because the thing is with Suleiman right now, yes, a lot of people like him because maybe you get swarmed. Yes, you might be trying to silence people and so on. It's cool. It's cool. And the thing is, Suleiman needs someone to be silenced. He needs someone to be in capitation, which he does himself. And he needs someone to be burning to get all of the damage buffs and just extras for his skill kit. And even then, from test, it just wasn't enough. And that's the issue, because Ramses is on his way in Season 3, especially through MGE. If you're playing through the Tactician Archer role, you might have been saving all this time for Ramses. And if you are, you've got a good chance of winning him, right? He's going to outclass Suleiman 10 times out of 10, right? Yes, Suleiman has a very niche role, and some people might like that role. However, for me and a lot of players that really want a march that does a ton of damage and actually performs out there, he does not fit the bill for one of the most important heroes in your lineup that you need to get invested into. He just doesn't. And again, maybe in the future, similar to like YSG and maybe like El Cid and some of the other heroes in the C and B categories, maybe he just needs another hero, right? Queen Sindiok just isn't cutting it, right? She's just like down here next to him. She's worse than him. She's the enabler for him. Maybe if you had a better silencer that silenced and burn in one skill, that might have been it. That might be what you need, because you've got 2 heroes doing multiple things that can get him cooking. But for now, he's C tier, and I'm sorry to put that in your bubbles, right? Now, Trib. Oh, Trib. Let's just kind of showcase Trib. I know everyone loves their Tribuanas, and I do too, because Tribuana, I will tell you, is a must-have hero. She is a definite A tier hero. She doesn't need to be S tier at all, because the thing is, with those S tier heroes, you'll notice they are super powerful independently on their own, right? The thing is with Tribuana, she is the enabler for them all. That's the cool thing. She is going to enable your Yodit. She's going to enable that good old Miyamoto. She's also going to enable the King Arthur and the good old Constantine. She's just such a good hero. And if you are playing a game and you are warriors and infantry and you missed out on this hero, I'm going to tell you right now, stop playing, restart your account, because she's a must. And she's going to be a must-have hero for the longest of times because of how good this skill is. I don't even have a maxed out, right? Look, my skills aren't maxed out, and yet my Miyamoto still absolutely trounces people just because of this one march. And the thing is, with her, as you can see, you can get a maxed out, obviously good old fortification, and getting that extra 100 plus armor again for free. It's so good, dude, man. So we have to keep her where she is. She's one of the best investments for anyone in the game, guys, right? So we have to keep her where she is. Now we're on Attila. Oh, Attila. He's S tier, man. He has to be, man. He's just too good. Why is he too good? Well, think about it this way. You start the game, it's Age of Empires Mobile, it's Season 1, you get the legendary adamant wheel, Attila, and it's one of the first ever wheels you're going to start to see. And this hero you unlock will be used so far for the rest of your journey, because he is the #1 support for warrior archers and warrior cavalry, because he gives you the double attack state, he gives you an absurd amount of extra critical strike, meaning he just gives you everything you want in 2 major stats for your formation, and he's a support, and no one is going to replace Attila until maybe they can match him on that crit strike and, you know, double attack state route. But until then, which is probably in Season 7, let's just say, he's good. And you're never going to look back. He's one of the best heroes in the game, and I think everyone will tip their hat off to Attila. My God, even at 3 stars, you don't even need him maxed out. He's that good of a hero. Even I have him maxed out because of my Mulan match. I can whack him into this Luru match and he does wonders, right? I've got CI and the good old weak spot attack. He's such a good hero that he's the only hero on my account. And you're going to be like, Sneaky, you fucking whale. Yes, boys, we unlocked every skill. All of them, because he's just that good. You can use him in so many combinations. You can run CI with Warriors him on the last slot to give him the most amount of support. You can run a weak spot Act of Mercy double combo if you really want to be greedy for just sheer damage output for a Mulan. You can run CI and Act of Mercy. You can run CI. You can just do any combination and you can't go wrong. It's just insanely good as a hero, right? He's the one hero in my account, like I said, I have unlocked every skill for, just because you can do that, in my opinion, for a whale anyway, especially if you're a whale and you're a spender, you've got the stuff to do it. You can just do it and have fun, and you can run whatever you want. It sounds silly, and some people might hate me for saying that, but that's just how good of a hero he is, right? So S fucking tier on our boy Attila, boys, right? Now, let's talk about the other S tier heroes, because I'm going to be real with all of you here. I'm only going to move potentially one of them. Yeah, you heard right. I'm only might be potentially moving one of them. And I want to know what you guys think that match is going to be. Is it going to be Mulan? Is it going to be Lubu? Is it going to be Ramcam? Or is it going to be Hannibal, Miyamoto, or Yoda? Well, for me, it's going to be Yoda. And it's going to be a very controversial thing. But all I'm going to do is drop her in A tier. And if anything, like Trip, she's at the top of A tier. She's insane. She is absolutely insane, right? When you think about Yoda, right? And the cool thing is, with Yoda, you can run Yoda, Tribuana, and Constantine, right? And that match is just so goddamn tanky. And because it's so goddamn tanky, it beats so many matches, which is very surprising. However, from tests and from religiously testing, no matter what, Miyamoto beats it. If you have a Miyamoto 5-star and you are running out with Tribuana and Yodit as the support on the end, it's gonna win. It's gonna be a Yodit primary match with Constantine and the good old Trib in there. No matter what you say, we've tested it too many times on the live stream. We ran it over 20 times. It was just crazy to see, and it never won, right? It never won. It was so one-sided, and that's just because of how good Miyamoto is, how good the Tribuana combo with obviously Yodit and him, right? And that's because of the machine gun combo. Shout out to Sig, because Sig is the pioneer of that combo, right? Absolutely monstrous combo out there. So do not ignore it. Apart from that, I'm keeping everything where it is. And we are going to talk about the other heroes, because let's be real, they all need a little bit of the spotlight, right? So first things first, Ramcam. Definitely, in my eyes, still an S tier hero. Why? He is the only hero, as many people as finding out now, after playing a lot of Battle of Dawns, after playing Wonder Contests too, when they're going against King Arthur's, when they're going against maxed mercenary units still, a Ramcam in their team with T7s will beat a team with mercenaries without a Ramcam, and that is how good this support hero is. It is not about being the best damage dealer in the game always to be an S tier hero. That's why Attila is S tier, because he's the best of the best in the support crit category. No hero can do it any better, and Ramcam is the same. He's the best support match so far in the game. The fact that this hero gives you the highest attribute of any of your commanders. If you're running warriors and you need might, he's got you covered. If you're a Hado March and you needed that strategy, he's got you covered, boys, right? And then if you are putting in primary, you also get the actually reduced in damage, because you get the relaxation state. And then you also get the increased damage part of it, which is just so good, because you have the recovery and increased damage all in 2 skills. 2 skills in that, right? Insane hero. Absolutely bonkers. I can't go any more further, and I'm so happy that I unlocked him too, because he has been phenomenal for me, right? The next S tier hero is my girl Mulan, and everyone knows if you're a Mulan player, you're happy. Even still, what right now when Lubu is out, the reason you're happy is because if you're a complete filthy degen like me, you're running your good old Mulan Bellevue Rani March with Lubu, Guan Yu, and Attila. And what is terrifying than 1 glass cannon? 2 glass cannons. And you have seen me do absolute work in the game when you've seen me fight in the Wonder Contest with them. They just do too much damage, and that is because Mulan, even to this day, people that have spent money and invested into Leonidas are jealous of people that have Mulans, because this match just does too much. It's really good in rallies, it's really good in Openfield, it's really good in Garrison, it's really good in Wonder and Battle of Dawn. It's insane everywhere, and that is the exact same for Lubu, because the thing is, without Lubu, those Mulan players would be running rampant, because this match keeps them in check, and it's super budget friendly because of the Guan Yu. And yes, we can probably replace Guan Yu in the future. A lot of people are hoping, including myself, but for now it does what it needs to do. However, the Lubu on his own just does an absolute nuke. Anyone that has played with a Lubu now sees this HP bar just trickle a little bit, and then next minute you've lost 50% of your HP. It is just disgusting to go against, right? So definitely a Lubu in there has to be in the S tier. Then the thing is, one hero I don't invest into, and I'll be honest, I haven't invested into him at all, is Hannibal, right? We've got him on the 2 stars, and that was from technically just going back in the day but I can't really go any further because I can't unlock the Ashoka that will fit in this lineup. And we do have the capabilities if we wanted to have like Justinian, we would have to go through the daily spending chests. However, anyone that does have a 3 or 5 star Hannibal with that Ashoka and Justinian does so much damage. It tilts me. It really does tilt me how much damage this does. Because the thing is with Hannibal, especially if you're on Hannibal Lubu as a 2 cavalry setup, your Hannibal is stealing stats off the enemy. And the fact that you're reducing the enemy's armor too means that Lubu hits even harder than he's actually doing. So Lubu Hannibal double cav forms are absolutely terrifying, and I can see why people really do like Hannibal out there on the open field, and he definitely does deserve an S tier spot. I'm just upset that I personally haven't got anything I can work with him as of now, but maybe we do, and we can make him into a 3-star hero in the future with maybe an S4, an S5, an S6 hero that comes out on Age of Empires Mobile, right? So let's talk about the final one. The final S tier hero, and we've done our updated tier list for this month, right? Which is going to be Miyamoto Musashi, right? Miyamoto is just insane, guys. Like, if you are wondering, is he worth it? He is, man. The primary skill does an absurd amount of damage and reduces the skill damage of those targets, which is just insane too. Then you've got your main skill here, which is dealing an absurd amount of damage and increasing the extra skill damage by the next turn by 30%, right? It's just, wow. Just what a hero. And you can run a couple of different builds on him. I'm running the High Spirit and Earth Crush. This is honestly doing a ton of work for me. But again, when we look at the tier list and we technically look back at some of the honorable mentions there, right? Miyamoto does an absurd amount of damage and beats any of his counterparts. The Yoda he beats when they go against primaries, right? And then when you look at Julius Caesar, it's scary how good Julius Caesar is, man. Julius Caesar, Ramcam, Octavian, bonkers. Julius Caesar with Octavian and Bushra, still bonkers, man. It does so much damage. It's unreal. And I can't wait to see other martial pikemen that come out and see if they do better than Julius Caesar, because you got to think how early you can get this hero to and how powerful he can actually be later down the line. So that's going to be my updated tier list. I know it sounds crazy, but I always think tier lists don't stay the same. I always think from playing a game, from the meta shift, from how different game modes are, some heroes are just better than others in the current game. And maybe in the future, guys, maybe 3 or 4 months down the line again from now, we might have a different tier list, because we're going to have Ramses, Charlemagne, Mansa Musa, Saladin, and Mehmed II all in the game, meaning all of these commanders might have some extra pieces to the puzzle to actually make them stand out and be like, do you know what? This hero is a very powerful hero. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Smash like, comment, and subscribe. It's been me, MrSneakyy. This has been the updated Age of Empires mobile tier list on my end, talking about all the different heroes in the game. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you've lived all the way through, thank you for watching. Till the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.